In the tapestry of pre-Columbian America, one empire stretched its threads further and wider than any other, reaching the highlands of Colombia to the north and extending down to the heart of Chile in the south. This was Tawantinsuyu, known to us today as the Inca Empire, the most colossal dominion of its time. A realm of magnificence, it existed for a fleeting moment, just around 100 years, but within its short-lived lifespan, it wove an intricate legacy that continues to captivate our imaginations even today. The word Inca hails from the Quechua language, traditionally signifying a ruler or lord. The citizens of Tawantinsuyu use this term in reverence to their kings. Today, however, the title Inca has transcended its initial connotation, encompassing the entire civilization in our modern language. Much of what we know about the Inca history has been scribed not by the Incas themselves, but by Spanish chroniclers who documented the oral histories and traditions that were handed down across generations, like a treasured heirloom, safeguarding their precious heritage during and after the Spanish conquest. In the rich tapestry of Inca mythology, the first thread was woven by Manco Capac, the inaugural Inca king, and his sister wife, Mama Ocllo, the divine children of the sun god, Inti. The story begins when Inti, peering down upon the earth, found himself aggrieved by the barbaric behaviours of humanity. Seeking to instill order and civilization, he dispatched his children, Manco Capac and Mama Ocllo, to the terrestrial world. Manco Capac and Mama Ocllo emerged from the sapphire depths of Lake Titicaca, often hailed as the world's highest navigable lake, nestled between the modern nations of Peru and Bolivia. Inti entrusted them with a golden staff, commanding them to erect the nucleus of a grand civilization at a location where the staff would penetrate the earth with a single decisive thrust. Thus began their quest, which culminated in what we now recognize as Cusco, nestled within the heart of modern-day Peru. Manco Capac and Mama Ocllo took upon themselves the monumental task of refining the humans. Manco taught men the art of agriculture, the craft of creating tools, the skill of constructing homes, and the principles of governance. Simultaneously, Mama Ocllo instilled in women the intricacies of weaving and sewing, the artistry of cooking, and other household skills. Their teachings brought an end to the nomadic ways, marking the dawn of a settled agrarian society. And so began the saga of the Inca civilization, whose echoes reverberate even in our world today. The real seed of transformation for the Inca civilization was sown under the watchful rule of the 9th Sapa Inca, Pachacuti. Known in Quechua as he who shakes the earth, Pachacuti ascended to power in the year 1438 AD. It was under his rule that the realm of the Incas emerged as a dominant leviathan in South America, casting its formidable shadow far and wide. This period heralded an era of vigorous expansion, achieved not merely through brute force, but also through clever alliances and diplomatic marriages. Before Pachacuti, the Incas were but a small tribe, rooted in the city of Cusco. Born likely around 1411, Pachacuti was the progeny of the 8th Sapa Inca, Viracocha. As per the tapestry of Inca legend, the ascension of Pachacuti occurred amidst a time of upheaval, when the mighty Chanca tribe laid siege to the Inca capital, Cusco. As Viracocha and his eldest son took flight, Pachacuti remained steadfast. He rallied the defences and, against all odds, successfully repelled the invaders. His bravery and leadership in the face of adversity were rewarded with the people's trust and allegiance, earning him the mantle of the new Sapa Inca. Pachacuti's reign spanned from 1438 to 1471, a time when the kingdom of Cusco grew from a seedling into the towering tree that was the Inca Empire. He implemented sweeping administrative and military reforms, morphing the kingdom into a meticulously structured empire. His rule was marked by an extensive territorial expansion that was achieved through both military conquest and peaceful assimilation, extending the reach of Inca rule from southern Ecuador to central Chile. It was Pachacuti who commissioned the marvels of the Inca architecture: the celestial estate of Machu Picchu, the formidable fortress of Sacsayhuamán, and the sun-kissed Coricancha, Temple of the Sun, in Cusco, among others. He was the visionary behind the transformation of Cusco, reconstructing it into a grand city that echoed the grandeur of its status as an imperial capital. Moreover, Pachacuti established the Yacaywasi, houses of learning for the nobility, fostering state-sponsored education for the future vanguards of the empire. These esteemed institutions taught the pillars of religion, history, military strategy, public administration, and the Quechuan language, equipping the leaders of tomorrow with the wisdom and knowledge of their ancestors. Upon Pachacuti's death around 1471, the mantle of leadership passed on to his son, Tupac Inca Yupanqui. The cycle of succession continued thereafter with Tupac's son, Huayna Capac. Huayna Capac embraced the expansionist spirit of his forebears, pushing Inca control further into present-day Ecuador and potentially reaching as far as southern Colombia. However, his reign marked the initial stirrings of the challenges inherent in governing an empire stretching across thousands of kilometers, hosting a myriad of climates and teeming with a vibrant mosaic of ethnic and linguistic groups. Tupac Inca Yupanqui and Huayna Capac, the helmsman of the Inca Empire during the late 15th and early 16th centuries, grappled with a multitude of significant challenges. Logistics and communications. The canvas of the Inca Empire was vast, covering territories in present-day Peru, Ecuador, Bolivia, Chile, Argentina, and Colombia. Administering such an expansive realm was a colossal logistical task, made even more daunting by the technological limitations of communication and transportation of the epoch. Despite the intricate network of roads and runners that the Incas had woven, the stewardship of resources and information across such an extensive landscape remained a formidable undertaking. Cultural diversity. The empire was a kaleidoscope of cultures, hosting an assortment of ethnic, linguistic, and cultural groups. This diversity, while enriching, could also give rise to misunderstandings, conflicts, and difficulties in governance. To quell this, the Incas deployed a policy of forced resettlement, translocating entire populations to new territories to dismantle potential resistance and cultivate cultural assimilation. Resource allocation. The Herculean task of equitably distributing resources and labor throughout the empire posed another considerable challenge. The Incas instituted a labor tax system known as the Mita and devised a labyrinthine system of state-controlled storage facilities to manage food and other resources. Yet, managing this system across a sprawling and diverse empire was an uphill battle. Political resistance and rebellion. With the swelling borders of the Inca Empire, the Incas found themselves ruling over a multitude of groups that were often unwilling subjects. These groups would occasionally resist or rebel against Inca rule. Ensuring control and allegiance was a constant struggle for Inca rulers, frequently demanding military interventions or the forging of strategic alliances through marriages. Succession disputes. Both Tupac Inca Yupanqui and Huayna Capac wrestled with the thorny issues of succession. In the Inca system, every son of the Sapa Inca was a potential claimant to the throne, a situation ripe for disputes and civil wars. The most devastating of these was the war of succession between Huayna Capac's sons, Atahualpa and Huáscar. This bitter rivalry significantly weakened the empire, setting the stage for the impending Spanish conquest. As the final chapters of Huayna Capac's reign were being written, an insidious wave of disease, likely smallpox, began to ripple through the Inca Empire. This affliction, foreign to the Americas, had been unknowingly introduced by Europeans. However, its devastating grip had tightened around the empire even before the Incas had come into direct contact with the Spanish. Among its victims were Huayna Capac himself and his designated heir, Ninan Cuyuchi, throwing the empire into a maelstrom of succession turmoil. Huayna Capac's demise ignited a fierce struggle for power between his sons, Huáscar and Atahualpa. While Huáscar held authority in Cusco and had the allegiance of the nobility, Atahualpa, a celebrated military leader, commanded the hearts of those in the northern reaches of the empire in present-day Ecuador. Their rivalry descended into a civil war, a conflict that Atahualpa eventually won, but it left behind an empire teetering on the precipice of political instability, its military resources stretched thin. Just as the echoes of the Inca Civil War were beginning to fade, a new threat loomed on the horizon. In 1532, Francisco Pizarro, leading a small band of Spanish conquistadors, arrived in Peru. The Spanish saw an opportunity in the empire's recent instability, seized Atahualpa in the infamous ambush at Cajamarca, and, despite a substantial ransom paid for his release, executed him in 1533. This event sounded the death knell for the Inca Empire. Yet, the spirit of resistance endured under other leaders, including Manco Inca Yupanqui and Tupac Amaru, until the last vestige of Inca resistance at Vilcabamba fell to Spanish conquest in 1572. In the Inca Empire's bold expansion across the lands, their rulers displayed remarkable acumen. When their reach extended into new territories, the Inca often extended an olive branch of knowledge. They shared their agricultural wisdom and techniques, enhancing local farming practices. In reciprocation, these communities would pledge their loyalty to the Sapa Inca, the supreme Inca ruler, effectively becoming part of the burgeoning empire. In their toolkit of governance was a policy of resettlement known as Mitma. The Incas would uproot and transpose entire communities, intertwining diverse ethnic groups. This ingenious move not only spread the Inca culture and language, but also controlled any potential rebellion. The Inca Empire's taxation system was a unique, labour-based mechanism, a stark contrast to the familiar monetary-based systems of today. Instead of coins and currency, the Incas levied a labour tax known as the Mita. The Mita was an obligation for every able-bodied adult male to devote a certain number of days per year in service to the state. What the individual produced was shared communally, divided among the community, religious institutions, and the state. In essence, the Incas' taxation system was founded on principles of reciprocity and redistribution. The citizens laboured for the state, and in return, the state ensured their well-being and security, maintained the infrastructure, and funded religious institutions. The architectural ruins of the Inca Empire continue to provoke awe and admiration to this day. Let's explore a few of the most celebrated Inca sites. Machu Picchu. Without a doubt, the crown jewel of Inca sites is the ancient city of Machu Picchu, perched high in the Andes Mountains of Peru. This 15th century marvel, constructed under the reign of Pachacuti, was abandoned following the Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire. Its existence was largely forgotten until American historian Hiram Bingham brought it to international prominence in 1911. The site captivates with its meticulously engineered dry stone walls, terraces and buildings that blend seamlessly with the surrounding natural landscape. The true purpose of Machu Picchu remains shrouded in mystery, with theories ranging from it being a royal estate to a sacred religious site. Cusco. Once the beating heart of the Inca Empire, Cusco was venerated as the navel of the world. Designed in the shape of a puma, an animal held sacred by the Inca, the city still bears the marks of its ancient architects, with original Inca walls and streets coexisting with colonial and modern structures. Among the Inca sites within Cusco, the Coricancha holds a place of honor. Originally, the empire's primary temple dedicated to the sun god, Inti, it stands as a testament to the Incas' religious devotion. Sacsayhuamán. Towering above Cusco on a hill rests Sacsayhuamán, a colossal fortress assembled from massive stone blocks, mortared together by the hands of the ancient artisans. Some of these stones tipped the scales at over 100 tons. In 1536, the fortress was the site of a significant battle between the Inca and the Spanish. Ollantaytambo, nestled in the Sacred Valley, Ollantaytambo served as a royal estate for Pachacuti, the conqueror of the region. This archaeological site features remarkably preserved Inca ruins, boasting terraces, temples, and intricate water channels. The town still adheres to the original Inca urban plan. Pisac, also situated in the Sacred Valley, Pisac is home to an expansive archaeological site adorned with terraces, temples, and tombs. The modern town of Pisac, nestled below the site, plays host to a popular market brimming with traditional Andean crafts. These sites are significant for several reasons. Foremost, they stand as remarkable architectural feats that bear witness to the Incas' advanced knowledge of construction, astronomy, and agriculture. They also offer invaluable insight into the culture and lifestyle of the Inca Empire, one of pre-Columbian America's most formidable powers. The echoes of the Inca civilization persist across South America to this day, most noticeably in Peru. The Quechua language, once the lingua franca of the expansive empire, continues to be spoken. Architectural masterpieces, such as Machu Picchu and Cusco, remain as enduring landmarks, bearing silent testimony to the Inca's ingenuity. Furthermore, Inca customs and traditions survive, interwoven into the fabric of local culture. In the present day, Peru has become a hotspot for travelers from around the globe, lured by the enticing remnants of the Inca Empire. The famous Inca Trail, an approximately 4-day trek that takes hikers through the breathtaking scenery of the Sacred Valley, has become a bucket list item for adventure enthusiasts. Along the trail, hikers traverse a range of landscapes, from cloud forests and alpine tundra to subtropical jungles, each bearing vestiges of the ancient empire in the form of scattered ruins and terraces. Visiting famous Inca sites such as Machu Picchu, Cusco, Sacsayhuamán, and Ollantaytambo is a profound experience that transports tourists back in time. People from all walks of life stand in awe of the architectural genius of the Incas, visible in the precise stone constructions and ingenious agricultural terraces. Moreover, the towns around these historical sites, with their rich mixture of Inca heritage and modern culture, offer unique cultural experiences, whether it's trying traditional Andean cuisine, shopping for local handicrafts, or participating in vibrant local festivals. The rise in tourism related to the Inca Empire not only contributes significantly to Peru's economy, but it also helps in preserving and promoting the understanding of the Inca heritage. As more people tread the Inca Trail and wander the ruins of this ancient civilization, the story of the Incas is retold and remembered, ensuring that the lessons and accomplishments of this remarkable empire continue to inspire generations to come. So, why does our fascination with the Incas endure? One compelling reason is the enigmatic nature of their civilization. The absence of a written language in their society means that much about their civilization is still shrouded in mystery. Each archaeological discovery has the potential to reveal another fragment of the Inca puzzle, keeping the world on tenterhooks. Their advanced understanding in a multitude of disciplines, such as architecture, agriculture, and astronomy, is another source of our continued admiration. The Incas achieved these feats without many of the tools and resources typically available to other civilizations, which is nothing short of awe-inspiring. Of course, the sheer scale of the Inca Empire, the largest in pre-Columbian America, secures its position as a significant chapter in world history. Studying the Incas yields invaluable insights into statecraft, culture, and human resilience in the face of challenging environments. Above all, the swift rise and fall of the Inca Empire serves as a poignant reminder of the transient nature of political power and the profound influence of factors such as disease, conflict, and colonialism on societies. So, as we admire the stone walls of Machu Picchu or listen to the murmurings of Quechua, Let us remember the remarkable empire that once was, and the legacies it has left for us to cherish and learn from. Please help us out by subscribing, liking and commenting on this video.